Well, hi, everybody, and good evening. And I'm so proud to welcome you to Detroit, the home of Ford Racing. So we're here in Michigan Central Station, and this building was once the symbol of the decay of Detroit, and now it's really a symbol of its resurgence. I'm so happy with how it turned out. And there's no better backdrop for kicking off our return to F1 with Red Bull. Nice. 125 years ago, my great-grandfather, Henry Ford, won a race right here in Detroit to help launch the Ford Motor Company. And tonight, we honor that legacy as we mark our return to the highest level of racing. And Ford has a storied history with Formula One. And now, we're here to write the next chapter with Red Bull. For me, this is deeply personal. Our family name is on all our products around the world, so we demand excellence and we race to win. And that's why I'm so proud to have the next generation of family working at Ford now, including my son, Will, who you saw earlier, who's helping lead Ford Racing. You know, I saw our shared values in action when I visited the Red Bull Ford Powertrains facility in Milton Keynes. Together, we're going to be unstoppable. And as we re-enter F1 with one of the best racing teams in history, we are all members of the Ford family. And when Henry Ford won that race in 1901, some called it the race that changed the world. Alongside Red Bull, we intend to make history again. And to quote my uncle Henry Ford II, let's go like hell.
Since the first time the wheels spun, we've never stopped moving. From that first sound, the first smell, the first line, first laugh, the first flight, that first fall, the second, the third, the fourth. Like a great man once said, there is no disgrace in honest failure. There is disgrace in fearing to fail. That fear of failure would never figure. Some minds just see things differently. And somewhere along the way, those minds have a habit of finding each other. Together, we're in a race of our own. We are joy and fury, precision and freedom, youth and wisdom, challenger and champion. Heroes to some, villains to others. Two icons. Two teams. One ambition.
Dirt. Always on the limit.
One engine.
Two iconic companies kicking off a new era with one incredible undertaking. The scale and the ambition of this project, it's huge. Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Briscoe and I am so excited to welcome the two people leading the charge on this power unit. Team Principal and CEO of Oracle Redbull Racing, Laurent Mekies, and CDO, Jim Farley. Hi, welcome, hi. Let me officially welcome you, Laurent, to Detroit. Let's just dive right into what you were doing. Why did Oracle Redbull Racing decide to build their own power unit?
Well, good evening, everyone. At first, a big thank you to host us here in Detroit, in Ford's home turf, in this incredible place. It's a historical moment for all of us. So why did we get on and try to do our own engine? Well, at first, we are entering a historical moment for Formula One. It's going to be the biggest change of regulations in Formula One history this season. It's the first time ever we have such a big change in both the chassis regulations and the power unit regulations. But that was not enough. It's also the moment where we decided to do our own power unit with the incredible support from our strategic partner, Ford, with us from the very early days. And, it's a crazy challenge. Perhaps it's a challenge that only company like Red Bull and Ford can decide to do, but that's what we are here for. So that's going to be a year full of challenges, but it's fundamentally what brings us together.
And for Jim, Ford, this isn't welcome. This is welcome back to Formula One. Yeah. Why was now the right time?
Well, first of all, I want to do one thing off script, which is appreciate Laurent. Everyone, give it up for this man. Let's go. When there's change, you never want to let a crisis go to waste. And this change allowed Ford to re-enter Formula One with Red Bull as a challenger, really. And as a leader of a big company, you want to put your company in a position to be a challenger. And that's exactly what we are right now. And America loves an underdog, right? So the regulations were key. I don't think we probably would have done this, to Laurent's point, if there wasn't a regulation change.
Regulations, changes, sometimes people shy away from that, but that also can equal opportunity. Laurent, if you look at this project, the scope of it, this is obviously something that for some people could take decades to develop and build. You guys did it in a matter of years. How is that even possible?
When we said earlier, it was a crazy challenge. It really was the case. Like, we didn't buy an existing power unit manufacturers. We didn't buy any existing structures. We started in a field. At the back of the Oracle Redbull Racing campus, there was a field there. We brought the factory up, put some dyno in it, hire 600, 700 people, the best talent we could find. Look and find the best partners with Ford, with Exxon, with Oracle, with so many of the people that have been making that challenge possible, and try to build that from the ground up. That's the size of the challenge for us.
Be honest though, like how many sleepless nights has this led to? Just maybe a few?
Look,
Do we?
we have sleepless nights, but you know what? It's you work all your life not to have sleepless nights, but you work all your life to be.
You have kids.
Yeah, that too. To be associated with a challenge of that magnitude. That's what all of us passionate about the sport, probably most of you would like to be involved in, and that's what we have. We have an unreal challenge, and we have the privilege to be associated with it, to be involved in it. So yes, it comes with a few headaches, yes, it comes with a few sleepless nights, but fundamentally that's what fuels us.
The bottom line is it's a job most people would pay to get to do. But as long as we're talking about sleepless nights, the man at the heart of this project is Red Bull Ford Powertrain's technical director, Ben Hodgkinson. He joins us now live from the powertrains facility in the UK, where these power units are designed and built. Hi, Ben. How's it going?
Hello, Nicole. Yeah, well, thanks for beaming in. I'm here in Dyno 5 control room. Behind me, we've got engine 312, which has been doing some calibration laps. It's actually doing some laps around Barcelona to try and complement our durability running that's going on next door. I mean, there's a lot to do. Things are getting real now, which is unfortunately why I can't be there. I guess while there's still an opportunity for me to make a difference, I'll be in here making it. So we're pushing on. We've got to get race ready. I see it's now 1 hour into Friday, which means I've got 49 days until free practice 1 Australia. So
Yeah,
got to keep going.
Ben, math has never been my strong suit, so thank you for doing that math for me, both in the number of days and also what time it is. All I know is it's like the middle of the night. When you look at the scale of everything that has already happened, what has your team done in the last 4 years?
Gosh, yeah, the scale of this project is something that's really quite special and unique. I mean, it's part of what attracted me to it in the first place, to be honest. It's the gravity of what starting from scratch actually meant has been dawning on me pretty rapidly after the first few months of starting. And it right now is the culmination of 4 years of hard graft from 700 teammates that are putting their all into it. In those 4 years, we actually had to find those 700 teammates and recruit them, trying to find the very, very best in their field. We had to build 3 factories, had to commission all the equipment, state-of-the-art facilities that we've got here in Milton Keynes. And this is an absolutely huge statement from Red Bull. I think it's the kind of project that somebody only like Red Bull would take on. The partnership with Ford absolutely supports that. They're our sort of crazy. This is one of Dietrich Mateschit's last ambitions to have this power unit being designed and developed on campus in Milton Keynes together with the chassis. And it's an absolute honour and privilege and really a chance of a lifetime. In fact, I think it's pretty unique and not many careers are lucky enough to be able to experience something as historic as this.
Did you guys hear the benchmarks, the laundry list of benchmarks that he listed off just to get to this point? He also, Laurent, sort of brought something up. There's a special part to the name of this power unit. What is it?
Yeah, you're right. You know, this very first engine is called the M01 in tribute to Mr. Mateschitz. Ben mentioned it. You know, it's his vision. Thank you. It's his visions, his boldness. He really is the Red Bull spirit that anyway is the reason why we are all here today. He made that unbelievable decision at the time to put us onto that route of being completely independent with both the chassis and the power unit. He was not scared by the scale of the challenge, and today we have our opportunity to pay tribute and hopefully to make him proud.
That is his legacy. Ben, you talked about Barcelona already. Barcelona testing's coming up in about 10 days. You also mentioned the 700 people working on this project. 700 people in 4 years. For you personally, when you look at everything that's gone on, what's the one moment that's taken your breath away?
Oh gosh, I mean, there's been so many milestones along the way. This engine we've got today is actually our 6th generation, so we keep evolving it, keep trying to make it better. But just last weekend was a particularly personal moment for me and all of my teammates, where the Red Bull engine and the Red Bull chassis got married together in a race bay. It's kind of poignant that every single second of running up until that point had been done on a dyno, and this time it was running on its own in the back of a car in a race bay. And to hear it fire up was a really emotional moment for me. It was the RB22, the Red Bull chassis, and the DM01, the Red Bull 4 Powertrains engine, coming together as a pure Red Bull thoroughbred. It was very special indeed, yeah.
Be honest,
And
Ben, did you shed a tear or two?
Go on. I'm far too much of an engineer to have that kind of emotion, but it was definitely
That's just self-awareness. I need you to be aware of the time now. It is literally the middle of the night. I need to mom you. Thank you for joining us, but can you go to bed now, please? Go on, go to bed.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ben Hodgkinson, everyone. It's really not long before we get to see and hear the car on the track. Barcelona testing is coming up in about a week and a half. For both of you guys, Laurent, we'll start with you. Success in year one. What does that actually look like?
You know, after everything we said, you know, in describing the size of the challenge of starting from scratch and building everything up, I think going into the first year, you know, and going to the first race soon and thinking to be straight away at the level of the competitions who have been doing it for perhaps 90 years for some of them. I think it will be naive. We are not naive. We know it's going to be coming with a fair amount of struggle, a fair amount of headaches and sleepless nights, as we said. But that's exactly what we are here for. And you know, we have the confidence of having put together an amazing group of people, an amazing group of partners, and we will go through the struggle. We'll eventually come out on top. Bear with us in the first few months, and I think these initial difficulties will be a good reminders of how much we went through to eventually get on top.
I think for us at Ford is the test to be clear enough that Ford knows exactly what we need to do to support the Red Bull team. That's the most important thing, that we know exactly how we can help and make our first race a success and the first part of the season a success. That's what we're looking for, is the clarity of our work.
Who's excited to watch it happen? Gentlemen, thank you for essentially explaining the why for all of this. Let's now take a quick look at behind the scenes about how all of this came together.
Hello folks, welcome to Red Bull Ford Powertrains.
By creating a challenge which is bold and audacious, you only attract bold and audacious people.
So there is our final inspection area. Are we allowed to film in there? No, there's stuff going on. If you don't point your cameras in here either, please.
Can we have a look?
No. Sorry.
We're not allowed to look at it. Why?
Because we want to beat the others.
Why take on this huge project?
Building your own engine, who does it really?
I came here to set up something no one's ever done before in the past, to be part of history. Ferrari and Mercedes, Renault, Honda, to try and take on that might.
I thought it was absolutely bonkers.
This wasn't a blank sheet of the engine and power unit, it was a blank sheet of an entire company.
The timescales 4 years ago seemed very, very tight. We had nothing.
We got here and realised that starting from scratch really means drawing every single fastener and O-ring and recreating systems and building factories.
We had no processes at all. How do you do this? How do you do that?
Has there ever been a thing where you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have to go to finance again?
We've got a speed dial button.
Decisions were made within minutes or hours.
That enabled us to finish everything within 55 weeks, from the first shovel of ground move to generating usable data.
Ford have got a huge history of motorsport. Their passion for it is off the chart. But at the moment, they're really helping us out with making a lot of 3D printed metal parts.
The
biggest day was our very first power unit fire up on Dyno 5. Control room was filled, packed with everyone who has contributed. Quite a few had tears in the eyes.
I don't think anyone would be crazy enough to do it again, let alone the investment.
First lap around track testing in Barcelona will be emotional, and let alone the first competitive lap.
The real ambition is that we learn quickly. If we do that well, then we will be competitive.
When you see the power unit, you would say, if it runs half as good as it looks, then we have no problem.
What's happening in Detroit? All right, I'm Callum Nicholas, an Oracle Redbull Racing Ambassador, and I'm sure some of you are thinking, what is he doing up here with this thing on his face? Well, despite that video we just showed you where we said we weren't going to show you the engine, we have actually produced a 3D model of the power unit, and we are going to be using augmented reality to get up close and personal with DM01. Now, this is the very first Formula One power unit developed by Red Bull Ford Powertrains ahead of the 2026 season. Now, I'm joined up here on stage by Philip Prue and Christian Herdrich, and these are two of the key people involved in bringing this collaboration together and taking on this incredible project. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. Phil, I want to start by talking to you because as I look at this absolutely incredible model in front of me, I can't help but think all of the challenges that you've already overcome to get to this point. So just talk to me a little bit about this journey that you've been on.
Well, thank you, Callum. And yeah, indeed, the model really represents all the hard work that we've just heard from Ben back in the factory. But to see it in front of us here kind of shows the culmination of all that work. Clearly, through that process, we've had challenges, but as we've already touched on, the number of achievements that we've had along the way. The first time we fired up an internal combustion engine in our new facility, the first time we transferred power through the ERS system. A whole system built around the new set of regulations, the 2026 regulations, where half the power is coming from the internal combustion engine and half the power is coming from the ERS, a true hybrid power unit that, yeah, has caused us sleepless nights, but achieved a thing of beauty that we see in front of us.
I mean, it really is a thing of beauty, and actually what's been fantastic to me is watching powertrains grow on our Milton Keynes campus. But Phil, I want to jump right in and I want to start with the combustion engine. So I'm going to bring this up here, and the reason I want to start here is because it's the scene of one of our first big regulation changes for 2026. And what I'm talking about is the introduction of what we're going to be calling sustainable fuels. Now, I know that you've been working with our partners very hard on this particular area. So while I have a look at this amazing animation, tell me, what is it exactly you've been working on?
Yes, indeed. So as I said, 50% of the power of the overall power unit is coming from the internal combustion engine. Working with our partners at ExxonMobil, we've developed a brand new fuel in compliance with the new regulations, fuel that allows us to achieve very high levels of thermal efficiency, which is achieved through very fast burn, very lean running, and together the fuel and the engine have been developed hand in hand to achieve that performance.
And now, while we're looking here at this combustion cycle, I have to ask, is this an area of the power unit where you expect to see a fair amount of progress as we work through these 2026 power unit regulations?
Yes, indeed, and I think the combustion of the internal combustion engine is something that we drive and develop continuously. We're already working on our 2027 development cycle, so working again alongside our fuel supplier ExxonMobil, we're continually developing, and I see no end in what we can achieve with the pace of Formula One and applying it to these power units.
Well, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, and I could look at that animation all day. But the next thing I want to talk about in this engine is to do with the turbocharger, because that is where we see another big regulation change, and this time to do with the architecture of the turbocharger, because we are losing the MGU-H. as part of this assembly. So while I take this apart, Phil, tell me about what this means for you in terms of operating this turbo without the MGUH.
Yeah, so in the previous regulations, we had the MGUH, the energy recovery from heat, which was attached effectively as part of the turbocharger, extracting energy from the exhaust gases, but it was also used to be able to control the speed and maintain optimum speed of the turbine. Now, with the removal of that, we've had to find new innovations, new control strategies, and indeed adapt the way that the chassis and the driver interacts with the power unit to ensure that when we're looking for peak performance, the turbo is spinning at the right speed.
Well, it sounds like you've got your hands full with that. But Christian, I want to bring you in at this point, because this is an area of the car where Ford have been working really hard and providing some of the key manufacturing processes to make this assembly possible. So tell me a little bit about what you've been working on, Christian.
Yeah, so Ford is obviously a car company. That's why we're all here tonight. But we're more a manufacturing company. For 125 years, we've been developing the tools, the processes, the procedures to be able to produce the cars out in the parking lot, but also the race cars in here. And for the Red Bull Ford powertrain, as well as our GT3 Mustang, our Raptor T1 Plus, we focus on a technology called direct metal laser sintering, or DMLS.
Well, DLMS, just briefly, let me just ask, is that like 3D printing but for metallic parts?
It's exactly that. So by 3D printing, we're able to create unique geometries that we couldn't through other processes like castings or forgings. But more importantly, it allows us to iterate really quickly to make sure we're putting the highest performing components into the engine and out onto the track.
Now, one of the things that I love about this animation that we have here is that as we see the turbine housing sort of grow, what we can also see is these other structures that are sort of around it and inside it. Tell me about those structures and how do you get rid of them at the end of the process?
Yeah, that's a good question. So DMLS basically entails building a part up layer by layer. And each of these layers is really thin. Think of the thickness of a human hair. So a part the size of a turbine, it's thousands and thousands of layers. So we need to give it structure and support as it builds. These structures aren't things that we necessarily want. So when the part is done printing, we take it out of the machine and we hand it over to people who I deem artists, who then meticulously pick away the supports, polish the surfaces, and we hand them over to Red Bull and then put out on the racetrack.
Well, these artists of yours must have some tiny hands, because I certainly couldn't get my shovels in there. Right, now, the next thing that I want to talk about, and actually, just before we move on, I want to ask you, Phil, a quick question. How do these turbos compare to the ones that we're now so accustomed to seeing on road-going cars?
Well, fundamentally, the architecture of the turbo is very similar. We have a compressor stage, we have a turbine stage, but the size and the air that it handles is that much larger. We have very high revving engines. We are able to generate 4.8 bar of boost, again, regulated. So fitting one of these to your road car, it will give it a punch.
So what we're saying is big turbo, big boost. I mean, that's something I can get down with for sure. Yeah. So I'll tell you what, Phil, if you happen to have one of those kicking around in the factory, send it my way. Ladies and gentlemen, the DM01. We are about done here, so I am going to take this off and join you all in the room. Oh, it's wonderful to see all of your faces, although I do accept that that feeling might not be mutual. Gentlemen, I want to thank you both for joining us up here today.
All right, are you guys ready? Should we just pull off the tarp right now? Should we see the cars? Oh, you thought I was going to do that right now? No, 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 no. We are gearing up for the first livery reveal of the evening, and we all know this. They can change from time to time. But one thing never changes. Oracle Redbull Racing always does Formula One like no other.
The first wins are supposed to be different, but the truth is, it never gets old, and nor do we. We are part of a legacy and a piece of the future, fighting for a chance to grab the horns and orbit the sun. Speed is an eternal chase. Sometimes you find it when you least expect it, the return of a familiar friend. Then it disappears in a moment, seemingly never to be found again. Until the next time.
Verstappen roars around the outside to take the lead from the pit lane to the podium. Verstappen is on Norris immediately. You cannot count him out. He came roaring back.
We're raised to race fast, race hard, and go again. To expect to not always be liked for it. But the people we reach, the experiences we share, create a fandom like no other.
That was unbelievable, guys.
This sport is a story told in thousandths of a second, made by 1,000 hands. Together, we push to the limits and beyond. Every chapter carries the same fire as the last.
Wow, mate. Put a 10 out after that one. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. Unreal, mate. What a goal. You got to build a rocket ship of a car.
Red Bull is more than a racing team. It's a culture, a tribe, a family. As a new dawn breaks, the new Oracle Red Bull Racing steps forward, and then we go again.
You know what that is? Simply lovely. I tell you that.
We are back. We're back with Laurent and Formula One CEO, Stefano Domenicali. Yay.
Good evening to all of you.
Hold on, though. I mean, you're in the pinstripes. Sir, you have changed. That's a nice change. Do a spin. Let us see. As you can tell, it's not just a new livery for the team, but clearly a new kit and new models as well. This is well and truly, it's a new era for the team and for Formula One. It's a big year of change. It's the new power unit. There are aerodynamic changes as well. How has that been, Laurent, for everyone?
You know, honestly, we kept talking about the size of the challenge and how crazy it's been for us, as for every team in front of the regulation change, but more specifically because of the power unit. So I think don't take my answer for the truth. We need to ask Stefano, you know, how big that challenge is for the teams. You know, how do you see that regulation change and how do you think it's challenging us in the way we go racing?
Well, I think that, as always, when there is a big change of regulation, is a moment when the sport finds a new blood, new energy, new ideas, a new way of being competitive. And believe me, this year is going to be a great year. There's so many things that are new, so many things that are, you know, for a lot of people, okay, my God, what I have to do, scratching their mind in the night. So stay tuned and a lot of fun. Because that's what is our sport. We have great people, great engineering, and I take the opportunities, let's say on behalf of all the F1 family, to thank Ford. We are here in this magnificent place. We are in the heart of motorsport, in the motherland, and really thanks to you all that I would love to see you, not only here, but all around the world to follow Formula One. That is a promise that I hope that we can share as a moment of joy, because that is really Formula One of today.
All right, I need like a show of hands or make some noise. Who's going to be watching FP1 in Australia? Obviously. So with this new era of regulations, when we are, you know, at home watching, how will these new regulations play out in what we see on the track?
Well, of course, the new regulation, as we said, is new regulation at all levels, because we have a new powertrain, power unit. We have a new aerodynamics, we have new tires, we have a new aerodynamic concept, we have a new fuel, the sustainable fuel, we have so many new elements that is really impressive. Therefore, today there is a lot of voices, you know, one team is stronger than the other, but it's not true. I mean, we will see on the track soon, because we're going to have a test in Bahrain, in Barcelona first, then in Bahrain, and that's where the place where we're going to see really the lap time. And one thing that is fantastic, I would say, with the new regulation is that also the energy management is on the hands, really literally on the hands of the driver. And that will be fantastic, because really there will be a new way of interpreting the racing also by them on the track.
So it's a new way of racing, but we also have to learn as well, because we as fans, there are new terms. We have a new vocabulary in 2026. So what do I need to be adding to my F1 bingo card this season?
Nicole, I think that there will be new terms that we try to be easy to understand, like, you know, boost button, overtake. So that's the way, for example, to manage the energy a different way. As you know, the one that has following us since many years, there will be not anymore the DRS. So there will be a button that you can push when you are within the second, that you can use the energy either to attack or defend. So beautiful. You're going to learn new things. And we have the duty through, you know, all the media, through the TV commentator, through us, through Laurent and his people, to make sure that we learn the new way of talking with the drivers, the new way of talking about Formula One. So it's a way to stay engaged. So stay tuned, follow all the content and all the social media. We have a new deal with Apple this year in US that you have to tune up and follow also with F1 TV. So good fun, good energy, and I can't wait to be in Melbourne the first week in March.
We will all be watching, some of us even counting down the days to that first race in Australia. Let's now bring together essentially the two people who have married power unit and the car. It's Oracle Redbull Racing Technical Director, Pierre Vacher, and Philip Prue, who we just saw during the power unit demonstration from Red Bull Ford Powertrains. No, we can do a line. We can stand. See? Everyone's wearing the new kit now. For those of you who don't know, Pierre, we can line up. Let's just all line up like good little kids in school. Pierre, you know, you were the man who was in charge of designing the RB 2022, RB22. I'll get that right. It's a big year. We've talked about this. It's a big year for the power unit. It's a massive year for aerodynamics. How did your team approach all of the changes?
How it was mentioned before, you know, it's one of the biggest change of regulation in the history of Formula One. Tire change, the car weight reduced massively, aerodynamic rules change. Then what you try to do on top of the PU is to give as much as possible on design the freedom for aero to find the best performance of the car, try to anticipate the balance limitation with this tire and with this aerodynamic regulation, and position the design to achieve as much as possible more freedom and capacity to develop the car.
RB22 is obviously, there are the new regulations, but it also presents new opportunities. How did you embrace that?
I think the main opportunity we have in the new regulation, as we saw in the last one, is to give the capacity of the team to develop the car. You know, the capacity in terms of manufacturing, engineering, as much as possible, because the car you will see in Barcelona or in race one will be completely different in Abu Dhabi end of the year. And it will be a fight to the end in terms of development based on how the issue of the car will be, but also on the performance we find in our tool and wind tunnel.
You know, it is a marriage between the two sides. How do you two work together? How do your teams work together? Right, that happens sometimes too. How do your teams work together to effectively collaborate?
Well, the work together started right from the very concept. Starting the power unit from a blank sheet of paper, the very architecture of the power unit was able to be aligned with the concepts and the direction that we wanted to take with the chassis, as Pierre mentioned, to give maximum freedom for the aerodynamics. So that work started right from the very concept. And as we built the power unit, put more complexity on, constantly working with our colleagues in the chassis side to understand the trades that we're making. I think that work will continue as we take the engine to the circuit, understanding how we interface with the aerodynamics, how we interface with the drivers. So the journey has started, but I think it very much continues as we go forward, and the opportunity to work sort of hand in hand, I think gives great opportunity to develop the car all the way through the season, as Pierre says.
It's essentially a 4-year journey that's gotten you to this point. I love the idea that for you, this is a first, because for the first time, you are designing the chassis and the power unit under the same roof. What's the significance of that?
You know, it's very big for us. You know, the one team concept is the first time that we are going to go into the championships with doing everything under one roof. There is only one other team doing it in Formula One, who will be the next one. And, you know, to have Pierre on stage, Philippe on stage, representing all the chassis side of the company, all the power unit of the company tonight, it's a symbol of our season. It's, you know, the only reason why you do your own power unit is to make sure that you have the maximum integrations between Pierre's team and Philippe's team tonight and Ben's team. And that's what we are after. And the way our two teams are going to work as one is going to be the difference between success and failure for the whole project. And that's the spirit in which we go in it. We go in it with the Red Bull spirit, with our people at the center of the project. And Philippe and Pierre represent that today.
I cannot wait. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Stefano, thank you for being here. Yes.
Enjoy
Pierre,
and follow us.
Phil, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Guys, give it up for them. No, don't you dare. He's trouble. So we've heard now what we can expect from this season. I think it's finally time to introduce our new driver lineup. Sound good? Please welcome to the stage the Oracle Redbull Racing drivers, isaachadjar and the four-time world champion, Max Verstappen! Hi, how are you? Come on in, come on. I get to stand next to the new guy. Isaac, what does it mean for you to be here now experiencing all of this?
It's a bit unreal for me, you know. I've always dreamed of driving for this team. As a kid watching TV, I saw Vettel winning all those titles, and now I'm finally in the big team. So yeah, it's a real privilege to be part of Red Bull Racing and to be next to Max.
And Max, now, like, you not only are you the dad, but you're also the old man on the team. For you to be around that long, to see all the changes, how have you seen the changes? How have you felt the changes in this new era?
I think, first of all, you know, everyone is very excited, and I am as well. And as you can see, yeah, the colors have changed a little bit.
Do you want to do a spin too and show us the new
You want to
kit?
see my ass?
You could just, you know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Before we get into more details, which I think is why we all want to be here, is to see what's under this, right? Let's reveal the 2026 livery. And it wouldn't be an Oracle Red Bull Racing reveal if it wasn't with a little bit of a Red Bull twist. What do we think? What do we think? We can go, let's go. I want to take a closer look at this. Okay. All right, here's what I notice. Glossy paint. Glossy paint is back. I also noticed the white outlines on the Red Bull. And you guys have to take a closer look at this later. There's a pattern on the paint, which might be my favorite part. Max, what do you think? What are your first thoughts?
I think it's much better. Yeah, it's. I've been asking for this for a while, so this is great. Yeah, I like the shine. I like the blue. It's my favorite color. I like the outlines on the Red Bull logo as well. It's back.
Yeah,
it's much more. It's much more fresh. So I like it.
You were walking around a little bit. Do you have a favorite part?
I like the front wing for some reason. Front wing and just the gloss, because I think during night races it's gonna look very. It's gonna stand out.
Sparkle, maybe, under the lights. Max, I do want to talk to you as we walk back over this way about, obviously, it's more than just a paint change. There are a number of changes that we're going to have in 2026. For you behind the wheel, how do all the changes impact what you do?
Yeah, it's all still a bit unknown. Of course, it's a very big change, with the engine, the car. I mean, as you can see, also the dimension of the car has changed a bit. So for us drivers, I think as well, initially, we'll take a bit of time to adjust, and that's why it's very important, during the test days that we are getting our laps in, and that we can optimize everything as well as possible.
How about this guy's comeback last season? I mean, it was pretty remarkable. When you have that momentum to end one season, how does it impact what you do to start this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's always better to have an ending like that, for sure. And, the motivation is very high. Everyone is ready and very excited to start this new chapter.
It's a new chapter for this guy, obviously, as well. New to the Red Bull side of things. The first few months, how have you been integrating yourself into the family?
The Red Bull family, I've been in it for a couple of years now, since I signed in the program as a kid, so it's not fully new to me. I had a couple of outings like 2 years ago already when I was in F2, so I'm lucky enough not to have to meet everyone and for the first time, so there's familiar faces like Laurent. So also a couple of mechanics, so yeah, and I started the work quite early in the season to make sure I'm fully adapted and fully in the rhythm.
And you have all those rookie jitters out of the way too, because you had your rookie season already. And we saw you on the podium last year, your first podium in Zandvoort. What are your 2026 goals? Be bold, come on.
Maiden race win would be good, at least.
At least. Did y'all hear that? A race win would be good. Yeah. Pause. At least. All right, Laurent. This is obviously, it's a bold new era for Formula One, but it's also a bold new era for Oracle Redbull Racing as well. How is that symbolic of what you're trying to achieve in 2026?
Look, with everything we say today, we are going to chase our small piece of history, and we know it's going to come with the difficulties, but that's what we are here for. And with Max, with Isaac, with all the amazing talents that we have back in Milton Keynes, we know we can achieve everything. So we'll go in it with the Red Bull spirit. We'll go with it as one team for the first time. And hopefully we bring all of you guys on the journey with us, because we will need all of your energy as well.
It's incredible. It's exciting. The livery looks amazing. And I can speak, I think, for everyone in this room. We cannot wait to see it on the track. Everyone, let's give it up one final time, at least right now, for the Oracle Redbull Racing Team. Dax, we'll get it back to you.
That's gorgeous. Look, I'm here with our F1 Academy drivers, Alicia and Raphael. Guys, welcome to Detroit. F1 is back, bigger than ever. Alicia, you finished 5th last year. How are you feeling about this season?
Well, firstly, I just want to say the biggest thank you to Laurent and everybody at Red Bull for putting their belief and trust into me for another season. And the best way that I can repay them for that is by bringing the championship home, which I have full confidence that we can do. I'm under no illusion the scale of the challenge ahead and the task that's ahead. I know it will be a challenge, but I learned so much last year, so the plan is to put it into practice this year and bring home the championship.
Rafa, it's your second season as well. Where do you see the biggest opportunities for you in 2026?
Yeah, my second season. I think 2026 is a really good opportunity to use everything I learned so far. So one of my main goals this year is fight for my first podium and my first win in F1 Academy. I'm feeling more comfortable with the car, with the tracks, with the team. So I'm really happy to represent the team one more year.
And quite a team it is with Max and Isaac up there. What's it feel like to be in the Red Bull family?
Well, it's a dream come true. I still pinch myself now to this day, to be honest. It's an awesome team full of awesome people. The support network that they provide to myself and Rafa in F1 Academy, they are so committed to supporting us and to supporting F1 Academy as a series. So they're just so incredible, and they put more commitment into F1 Academy than any other F1 team on the grid. So yeah, it's a privilege for us to represent them.
We're so excited to be here in Detroit with VCARB, an incubator for the hottest young talent for the Red Bull family. It's been the springboard for world champions like Max, Seb, and Isaac. I don't know, I'm calling that now. The team is as serious off track as they are on track. Whilst pushing to create champions, securing a P6 in the championship last season, they've also been busy promoting creativity with its creator platform, enabling young creatives around the world to get involved with F1 like never before. VCarb has given photographers, videographers, DJs and stylists the chance to experience race weekends and campaigns firsthand. It's the team that gives emerging voices a platform to shape new, untold stories through their own lens. I think what I'm trying to say is, this isn't your average race team.
Welcome to 2026.
Hold up. This isn't us. We do things differently here. These are cashed-up racing balls. By now, you know what it stands for. But do you know what it really means? We've gone through a few looks over the years. But let's make one thing clear. Some things never change. The iconic races. The fresh faces. But don't worry, no history lessons here. All you need to know is this team is all about new. New lineups to rewrite the script. New voices to break through the noise. New ways to shake up the grid. This is not your average race team. We won't keep quiet. And we won't sit still. We won't stay serious until it really matters.
Lawson, best ever Formula One result.
Whatever makes us listen, whatever makes us move, whatever makes us, well, look good. We want to be a part of it. Because we create champions, and we champion creativity. So this year, we will continue to be what we always have been, the home for a new generation of talent. It doesn't matter where you are, because our home is wherever it's loudest. Welcome to 2026.
Welcome to 2026, indeed. I'm going to need two very important people to help me get this reveal rolling. Welcome your 2026 Visa Cash App Racing Ball driver lineup, Liam Lawson and Arvid Lindblads. Oh,
How you doing?
hello. How are you both feeling today?
Feeling good. Real good, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Excited to see the car.
Excited to see the car? Well, shall we do this? Are you guys ready? Can I hear you? Should we get a countdown going?
We can do a countdown.
Maybe a little countdown, can you guys help? Drivers, take your positions. Let's start a countdown. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah?
Looks
What
pretty
do you
good.
guys think?
Yeah. I like it.
What are your guys' initial thoughts?
I mean, I love white, so already last year we had a white car, and this is, similar in some ways. We have more blue. Obviously, we have the fall in the back now, which looks really, really good as well. And we have white wheels. I hope we're racing with these, because they're
I really like the matte. It's like the carbon bits as well. Look like really cool.
Yeah,
I
it looks
love
cool. It looks real cool.
Amazing. Well, I've got a few more questions for you guys, so come back over here. Because, Arvid, I just want to start off by congratulating you on entering your first season in F1. You're the only rookie and the youngest on the grid this year. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I can't wait. It's been my goal always to get to Formula One, and to sort of have the dream come true is something I've always been working towards. So yeah, I can't wait to get started.
I mean, massive congratulations. I don't even have my driver's license yet, so you're already doing a lot better than I am. Anyway, Liam, in 2026, we've got a new era of F1, new cars, a new track. How are you feeling?
I'm excited. I mean, it's obviously going to be a very different season, new opportunities. Firstly, we need to see how fast the car is. It looks fast, so hopefully it's fast on track. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Bringing on the new year. So, how do you both feel about being part of this movement in F1 culture? Everything the team does on socials allows us to see your personalities. How important is it for fans to see who you are beyond a racetrack?
It's important for sure. Obviously, the sport's growing and it's been changing a lot in the last few years, especially. So, something our team has embraced a lot more as well on the social side. So, something that's you're going to get used to this year, which should be fun. But yeah, lots of social concepts. But obviously, we do it in a way that's structured and makes it enjoyable for us. And obviously, we have a good-looking car, which makes it good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the lip syncs are exciting. So yeah, it's like you say. I mean, obviously to show the personality and stuff is really important. And it's cool to be doing something a bit different on that side.
Well, I mean, speaking of, we know how much you love admin. Don't worry, this isn't actually going to be a lip sync request, but we did ask your fans on social to submit some questions for you both tonight. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Okay. First one is, what is your favorite pre-race song?
It depends for me on where I am. Like if I'm racing in America, I listen to a lot of country music, but on average, it's mostly rap. So number one would be probably J. Cole, No Role Models.
Okay, and Arvid?
Yeah, I really like Eminem. Obviously here in Detroit, yeah, I mean, I watched the 8 Mile film for the first time last week, so yeah, it's cool to be here. And I don't know, favorite song, probably like No Love. I think that's sort of my go-to hype song.
Amazing. That's I love a Detroit-based legend. The next question's for you, Liam. Will you ever drop a country album, or at least think about it?
I would like to. Maybe eventually. It's something that's. I bring guitars with me now everywhere at all the races. But to drop an album, you got to put a lot of time into that. I'm not at that level yet. So one day though.
One day. I mean, the last time I saw you was in Austin at COTA. You were in the cowboy boots, the cowboy hat. You had a whole cowboy alter ego.
I mean, I really embrace that weekend. It's probably my favorite weekend of the year. It's an amazing race. And I think Austin has a big music culture as well. So it's something that I really enjoy.
I love that. Okay, Arvid, the fans would love to know, who did you call when you found out you were going to become an F1 driver?
I was with my dad at the time, so he was the first person I told. It was a special moment. Obviously, he was sort of the thing that we did together. On the weekends or after school, we'd go to the track. So to share that moment with him was very special.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, final question. Your socials are really great. They never fail to make us laugh each week. The lip syncs, the walking questions, 10 out of 10. Are you excited for more in 2026?
Who asked that question?
It might have been the admin team.
We love admin. We make fun of them a lot, and we get like a time each weekend that we have to do admin, like social content, and sometimes I try and shorten that time as much as I can, but we love them.
That's good to know. I think it's time we broke out the big bosses. Join me in welcoming to the stage Peter Bayer and Alan Permain.
Boys, how are you? Everybody? All right? You.
Hello.
Good.
It's great to have you both with us this evening. Peter, I'd love to know your initial thoughts on this amazing car we've got in front of us.
Well, look, last year's car was an absolute fan favorite, so we didn't want to change too much. And what you see, obviously, is an evolution of last year's car. And we built our identity, the isaachadjar Racing Bulls identity, based on this design, and we're very proud of that. And I guess some things I want to highlight, I think Liam actually recognized that immediately, is there's a bit more blue on the car, referencing to Red Bull, referencing to Visa, and of course to welcome Ford to our isaachadjar Racing Bulls family. So honestly, I think the car looks stunning. I love it.
I love that. And Peter, we've seen V-Carb shift in everything it's doing for fans. How important is it for teams to engage with their audience beyond the racing?
Well, look, our team is a talent incubator, and working with young drivers like Liam and Arvid allows us to connect authentically with a young audience, and that's what we're trying to do by visiting the fans where they are, going to the social media channels. And as you said, we're inviting the fans to join us. We want to democratize the sport and make sure that everybody can be a racing bull.
I love that. So bringing the creativity on and off the track. And Alan, this is a big moment for Ford today, coming back into the sport after 22 years. And for the Red Bull family for making history as the first team to go from making an energy drink to developing their own power unit. How are you feeling going into 2026?
Excited, very excited. I started working in Formula One a long time ago, 37 years ago. The first car I worked on had a Ford engine. The first car I won a race with had a Ford engine. The first car I won a world championship with had a Ford engine. So to have Ford partnering with Red Bull powertrains is it's like a real full circle moment for me, and I can't wait to get started.
That's such an incredible 360 moment, and what a way to enter 2026. So as we gear up towards the start of the season, it's all systems go. You guys have got testing in a few weeks' time. I wish you all the best, and thank you for joining me today on stage. Throw back to you, Dex.
Thanks, Ruby. Thanks, Racing Bulls. Now let's get both teams up here on stage, and while that's happening, let's check in with Nicole.
We call this, we casually call this like slight fill time to let the family just gather around on stage. How are we feeling about 2026? How are we feeling about all of that? Look, if you're not excited, if you're not ready for the season, then something might actually be wrong with you. From Ford Red Bull powertrains and the groundbreaking new partnership between two icons in the field of motorsports, to brand new driver lineups that combine youth and potential with what is already a rather dominant force. Throw in those new looks, a little glossy paint, and some new vocabulary for all of us, right? This is a new era of Formula One, and I think we're all ready for it. Dax? You're here?
Yes, this has been an unbelievable event from start to finish, so thanks all of you for being here in person or watching online around the world. 2026 promises to be an amazing year for motorsports, and I can't wait to hear the engines roar. Thanks, everybody, and good night.